This MacBook Pro is probably one of the most hated in the whole lineup. It came out in January, attempting to replace the 2021 MacBook Pro, and the general public quickly claimed it useless and a bad deal, but I've used it for over 3 months, and let me tell you, the reality is a bit more complicated. I might have found a few details in it that may change your perception of this Mac. I think I will start with a thing that annoyed millions of people, the design. Before it came out, we were really expecting to get rid of the notch, but as you already know, this didn't happen. We also were expecting to get Face ID in it or something like this, but no, that didn't happen either. Some people were expecting at least getting new colors, but once again didn't happen. This sense of disappointment, of unmet expectations, I think is what formed the opinion about this Mac, but it feels and looks exactly as the 2021 model, and that's a good thing. This design is basically timeless, rough yet elegant, sturdy yet approachable, durable yet comfortable, just like the 2021 models were a perfect balance of looks and usability. The new one follows the same route, so don't think that identical design is a bad thing. It's a good thing. And even the fact that color choices stay the same really doesn't matter, since the existing color palette is perfect. Another thing that many people pointed out was the same display. I personally liked it from the start, but there were some people who were expecting to see the improved mini LED technology or increased brightness. I wasn't one of them, and that may be the reason why this display is still perfect for me. It's very comfortable size and proportions, and that's great. I love these modern Apple displays. Perfectly balanced, great color accuracy, and superb resolution. And that ProMotion I still enjoyed, just like the first day in 2021 when I bought the Pro MacBook. It's without a doubt a great display and will be equally perfect for movie watching, web browsing, or intensive color grading. Trust me, display isn't the thing you need to worry about. What you could worry about is the performance. This was and still is the most controversial thing about this MacBook. On one hand, it has the upgraded M2 Pro inside, which has more CPU and GPU power than its predecessor. It's more power efficient, thus gives better battery life, but on the other hand, this Mac has a substantially slower SSD because of its one-chip configuration. And believe me, after using it, I can see why this configuration has made people mad. But let me be the devil's advocate for a bit and say that the situation is slightly over-exaggerated. You may remember my video comparison of the stock 14-inch 2023 MacBook Pro to a slightly upgraded 2021 14-inch. When it comes to CPU and GPU benchmarks, the M2 Pro outperformed the M1 Pro, but in video editing and photo export tests, both machines performed similarly. The M1 Pro even came out slightly faster in the music and render tests. However, the M2 Pro showed its strength in real-time Unreal Engine scenes, averaging almost double the FPS of the M1 Pro. But before you rush out to buy the M1 Pro machine, keep in mind that the overall performance difference between the two models was negligible. Overall, the M1 Pro seemed like a better performer, but at the time of tests, not all apps were updated and fully supported the M2 Pro chip. From my experience, I can say that in day-to-day use, I see no difference whatsoever. The laptop is very fast and responsive, all apps open instantly and perform beautifully. Video editing apps were great, Photoshop runs smoothly, Blender and Unreal Engine also fly. Maybe in some instances the slower SSD can make this Mac slower, but most of the time you don't transfer tons of files to and from the SSD, so it's not a problem really. With updated apps, the M2 Pro finally manages to compensate for the slower SSD. I think 3 months later, Apple and developers have finally caught up software-wise and found a way to utilize the chip to its fullest. The story basically repeats itself. We had the same issues with the M2 MacBook Air. There were many small bugs and slowdowns at first, but after a couple of updates, it turned out just fine. If you get this Mac now, you'll get a slightly different Mac than you would have gotten 3 months ago. One more thing that other reviewers and I pointed out were the speakers. We all noticed that they have gotten worse. The 2021 MacBook sound is very rich and impressive. The new MacBook has let me down slightly in this domain. The audio is more mushy, less boomy and impressive. If you put two MacBooks side by side, you instantly notice the difference, but only if you put them side by side. That's the point. If you're switching to this Mac from MacBook Air, you will be blown away with sound, the bass, the loudness, and the clarity. You will be shocked, but if you have owned the 2021 MacBook Pro before, only then you may not like the speakers on this Mac. So after watching movies and listening to music on this Mac, I can confidently say you will be just fine. This issue is real, but it matters only if you switch from the previous to 2023 model, and that's all. Got it? Don't worry. The speakers sound great, but you know what sounds even better? Today's video sponsor. I think we should take a moment and appreciate how far the AR has come. In a few years, the clumsy Google Glass has transformed into this, the Nreal Air. These are the new augmented reality glasses that take the best from VR and apply that to a winning format of glasses. I've used them for quite some time and found quite a few things. First, I found the screen to be really high quality. It's a 3840 by 1080 pixel OLED display that produces fairly crisp images, at least compared to other options out there. The colors are also quite vibrant, which helps with the realism of the experience. The glasses do also get quite bright. They can reach up to 400 nits, which is good, but they can also be a bit too bright at times. You do have the option of changing the brightness though, so that's nice. In the box you can find 3 different nose pads, so you could find a perfect pair for you and ensure a natural and comfortable fit. And the comfort is the second great thing I found. They are really nice to wear. While other AR VR glasses are big and heavy, these are really lightweight and feel really premium. They can be a bit too heavy if you wear them long enough, but most of the time you hardly notice them. The Nreal Air glasses are pretty versatile and can work with different platforms. What it can do depends on what platform you're using it with. If you're an Android user, you can download the Nebula app, which has a cool interface and features. You can use your phone as a remote control and select content easily by pointing at it. But if you are an iOS user, you will need to use an adapter that comes with the glasses. It's easy peasy though. The glasses basically show what's on your phone screen. But the real fun starts when you use it with a Mac. With the Mac version of the Nebula app, you can create up to 3 virtual desktops. And get this, you can even move your head to see the different screens. It's pretty awesome because you can have multiple floating displays in front of you and they will track your head movements so you can look around. But what surprised me the most is how great these glasses are for gaming. I wasn't expecting that, but having a 130-inch OLED screen in front of you is much better than a 50-inch TV on the wall. Just connect them through the adapter to your gaming console and play with style. You can even incorporate games into your work zone, creating a stress-free and enjoyable environment. It's the perfect way to take a break from work and enjoy some gaming without ever having to take off your glasses. Plus, with these glasses, you can always stay connected to the gaming community by streaming gaming videos on YouTube. What I like to do in these is watch Netflix before going to sleep. I just pop them on, open Netflix and enjoy my favorite shows. And I do that without headphones, thanks to high-quality speakers built in. Oh, and I almost forgot, in the box you get a pair of prescription-free lenses, which you can take to your optician to create a custom prescription lens for. And this is a very good thing other headsets don't have. These glasses are priced at $379 and the Nreal adapter is another $59. I think it's a very good price for such a groundbreaking device. You get a huge TV and 3 high-res monitors for the price of 1 average TV. That's a great deal if you ask me. The link is in the description. And now let's get back to customizing the phone. What you will definitely notice is the webcam. Even if you switch to M2 Pro Mac from the 2021 model, you will still notice the better image quality. The new MacBook's webcam is still 1080p, but it's got some new algorithms that make the image quality noticeably better. It might not be a complete night and day difference, but hey, it's definitely an improvement that you can see. I get it, you might be thinking that small upgrades don't really matter, and most of the time they don't, but trust me, there's always that one situation where those little improvements can make all the difference. But what I simply can't ignore is the battery life. In my initial review, I noticed almost no difference, but after using it for longer, I must admit it is better. The 2023 MacBook Pro does live longer. In some instances, for me, it was a couple hours difference even. I think this is due to the fact that energy efficient cores have gotten way more powerful while still being super efficient, so in situations when I'm not editing videos or doing intensive work, the 2023 MacBook really shows the strength of those efficiency cores. In simple tasks where the M1 Pro MacBook had to kick on the performance cores, this Mac gets the same results with only efficiency cores. And that's the thing that can be noticed only during a long-term usage, so yeah, the battery gains are real, not super dramatic, but real. And now we have the improved HDMI 2.1, which in a couple instances really showed its capabilities, and the Bluetooth 5.3. Since I recently bought the second gen AirPods Pro, I could finally feel the difference when using the MacBook. My previous headphones didn't have 5.3 in them, so when I connect the new AirPods Pro to my old Mac, I hear the difference, but maybe that's just my hearing, I don't know. I know that talking about prices in a long-term review isn't really necessary, but in my opinion, it really sets things straight about this Mac. I think that for $2,000 new from Apple, it is not a very good deal. Yes, I still think that. But luckily, there are tons of discounts. It is going for $1,799 from B&H Photo, which is $200 less, and for such a price, it's a nice deal. For the comparison, the 2021 14-inch still costs $1,539 refurbished from Apple. For just $260 extra, you get slightly improved performance and other small improvements. Is it a good deal? Honestly, I would still choose the M1 Pro. I don't see much use for that $260, but that's just me. What do you think? Is it worth it or not?